Hi, my name is James Whelchel, and I'll be presenting my first presentation on the Gateway Hospital case out of Chapter 2. It's really awesome to be talking about a hospital because I was released from the hospital due to some blood clots. So it's nice to be out and just talking about a hospital from the outside rather than in the inside. What we'll be doing over the next few minutes is I'll give a brief summary of the case study. We'll discuss some of the main arguments, reasons, and rationalizations that might be postulated by the person with the ethical conflict or a part of it. We'll also discuss some of the stakeholders, who they are, and what's at stake. We'll also talk about the levers to influence the position of choosing the right. And then we'll also discuss what I feel is the main, most powerful and persuasive argument. So you have Troy and Kristen, who are colleagues and employees at the Gateway Hospital. Troy is Kristen's supervisor. Troy was able to take his family to Orlando, Florida, and during the conference as well as afterwards, they attended SeaWorld and Walt Disney World, but their personal expenses exceeded their budget. Louise, Troy's wife, suggests that he inflate his expense reimbursement report by 3 meals and 1 lodging night. And this isn't uncommon at the hospital, as other administrators also do this. Joyce, the head of the accounting department, approaches Kristen and asks her about the discrepancy between her reimbursement report and Troy's, because Kristen hasn't added the extra meals and lodging on her reimbursement report. So this is the ethical dilemma. Some of the main arguments, reasons, and rationalizations Troy might put forth are, I don't want to rock the boat, and that's the culture we have, so let's not deal with this and let's just let it go. My family expenses were higher than what we expected, so this is a way that I can get some extra reimbursement. I travel frequently and I'm away from my family, so this is kind of an intangible way of, or I guess tangible way of being compensated for that time away from my family. My wife told me to do this, and I don't want to get in trouble with my wife. I know for me personally, I also don't want to do that as well, so I can understand and relate with Troy. He could also tell Kristen, just tell Joyce that I spent the extra night just like other administrators, and that's not uncommon. He could also tell her, I'll just do this one time, so let's just let this go and let's not deal with it, okay? So the stakeholders are obviously Troy. He could potentially lose his job as well as have a difficult relationship with his wife by not submitting the reimbursement report, and he's also compromising his integrity. Kristen could potentially compromise her integrity if she goes along and doesn't tell on Troy, but she could also lose her job too if it's found out that she wasn't honest. You have Joyce, who's the accounting head. She wants to choose the right and wants to make sure that the finances are accurate. She could potentially lose her job if it's found out that this was submitted too. You have the Gateway Hospital as another stakeholder. Even though it's an immaterial expense reimbursement amount, they're still promoting a culture of weak internal control and not adhering to policy if this were to make it through. And then you have Louise, Troy's wife. She could be dealing with the aftermath of Troy losing his job or not having a good relationship with him because he didn't do what she asked and the family finances are a little tight. Some of the levers Kristen can use are informing Troy of Joyce's request and asking him to be honest. She could also tell him, you know what, I don't want to compromise my integrity, so I'm going to tell the truth, and I think that you need to tell the truth too before I do. If it gets really bad from Troy and she gets a lot of pushback, she could threaten to go to his boss and bring Joyce along and to inform him or her that Troy isn't being honest, so she doesn't compromise her integrity. Kristen's reputation is also at stake, so she could try and appeal to his senses that, hey, I don't want to get in trouble because of this. And then Kristen has an ethical responsibility. With Joyce, she could then counteract anything that Troy postulates of trying to finagle his way out of this situation. The most powerful and persuasive response I feel is that Kristen is a new employee. She wants to obey the policies and choose the right and not compromise her integrity. She could sit down with Troy in a one-on-one conversation and inform him, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to lose my job. I don't think you want to lose yours. I think you should go and change your expense reimbursement report so you don't get in trouble and buy some roses for your wife. So that way your relationship with her will be strong. Thanks.